There you go. Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We're All Psychic, and we have Courtney back. Hey, Courtney, what's up?
Woohoo!
Oh, and you know her computer's going crazy again already, watchers, if you're watching. And this is a video podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Now, Courtney, I have to ask you again, do you still think we're all psychic?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's never going to change.
I love that. It's hard for me to say never. It is.
Right.
Deep in my soul, I think I'm going to live in this body forever, maybe. Until I decide to leave it. My soul decides to leave it, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking about souls today. I just think about souls. What do you think about souls, Courtney?
What do I think about souls? I view souls
Brain about souls. Word about souls. There's words for souls. We have the word soul. You know,
yes, we do.
And we have soul buddy, soul friend, soul sister,
soul partner, soul sister,
soulmate.
But I don't know. I view like your soul as your essence, your
kind of intangible.
being.
Yeah.
Your higher self, your just energetic, like just a bunch of atoms.
You have like a picture in your head of what a soul looks like. Do you? What's yours? I have one too. What is yours?
I view it as like just beautiful balls of light, and it's kind of like an aura, right?
That's what I see, like a ball of light, but it's oblong. It's kind of like oblong. It's kind of how I see it.
But it's like it's an aura, and it changes colors, with your mood, with what phase of life you're in. So
that's rad. And listeners and watchers, we actually talked about doing this podcast before I pretended like I just thought of it doing this podcast. But we asked ChatGPT, my best friend, about, what different cultures think about souls and, what different spiritual beliefs have, mainly spirit religions, what they call the soul. And they gave us Christianity, and they say that the soul is an immortal essence of a person created by God, capable of eternal life. I just said I was going to live forever. Origin, Hebrew and Greek scriptures, Old and New Testament. And that is what they say the origin of this. That's not what they say the origin of the soul is, though. Now, listeners, I did ask them to tell us what everybody said the origin of the soul was, too, but we might get there later. Let's see, Judaism. It says the soul, and this, I don't know how to pronounce this, neshama, is divine breath. I think that's cool, because I do think breathing like is in the moment, in and out is like very in the moment. If I focus on my breathing, the Kabbalistic teachings and the Torah are where they get their ideas for the soul. And then we have Islam. They give us the soul, nafs, or ruh, is a creation of God, tested in life, judged after death. And the origin is the Quran and Hadith. I don't know. I've never heard of that book or that belief or whatever that might be. Hinduism, the Atman is eternal, unchanging, true self or soul. So that's interesting, unchanging. So I really think souls are here to evolve. I think souls are here. They come into time in some capacity. And a soul is like the purpose of coming into time, just like a game, like, a video game or something is to come win the game, get your points, level your character, level your soul. But what is a soul? So we'll go on. I like that. What do you think about that? Do you think a soul changes, or do you think it stays the same all the time and never changes?
No, I believe that a soul can never die.
Yes.
But a soul can always change and morph and contort and adapt to its surroundings.
I think so too.
Just like energy in general, right? But I don't like energy. You cannot destroy energy. You cannot kill energy. It can morph into something else. And that's what I feel that a soul, like
the soul is just like that. Yeah, I think I agree with you there too. We have a lot of the same ideas, and we've only talked one other time. How'd that happen? Interesting. And we are in the same religions, listeners or watchers. If we are, I'd be surprised. I'm not in a religion, so it'd be very funny if we were in the same one.
I I'm not religious, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual, but not the religion part. I just, but I like the Hindus. The Hinduism one is the Atman, the eternal, unchanging. They said their origin came from the Vedas, like the Vedic astrologers, I guess, because that's what the Vedas are.
Oh.
I don't know, the Upanishads, ancient Sanskrit texts. So all these are really old stuff from like the last 5,000 years, 6,000, something like that. And Buddhism has it traditionally denies a permanent soul. And they call the soul Anatman. 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 But some sects speak of a stream of consciousness. That's what I like. That is very interesting. Denies a permanent soul. That goes along with something I believe.
What's that?
I'll tell you when we get to my belief systems about souls. But then we have Taoism. The soul has yin and yang aspects. If you don't know, listeners and watchers, that most people say yin and yang is like the passive and the aggressive, or the passive and the active, or the female and the male. I don't know why the female is always passive, because I know women take action a lot more than men. Such an asshole. I'm an asshole. Okay. Ancient Egyptian religion. Oh wait, the Taoists their beliefs came from ancient Chinese spiritual texts. So they were like this one, Tao Te Ching. I don't know that one, but I know that maybe that's where the I Ching comes from, or I Ching. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Could be.
Maybe. And then the ancient Egyptian religion, the soul had several parts: Ka, Ba, Ak, Aka. I don't know, it's AKA Ak. I would just say Ak. Each with different roles in life and afterlife. That's kind of cool. And their ideas came from pyramid texts and the Book of the Dead. So that's
interesting.
Yeah. Well, the Book of the Dead is just huge in ancient Egypt. I've done a lot of studying about ancient Egypt because I used to ghostwrite, and I had to do some ghostwriting for do research. But they'd have sketchy witches who would sell people spells they could take with them when they died, and they could skip parts of the Book of the Dead. I just remember reading about that in one of the histories of this time period. Isn't that interesting?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was like scammers. Wow. It's kind of like how get the curse off you scammers nowadays. $5,000, I'll get that curse off you. Oh,
it's gone.
Yeah, gone. Boom, gone. Yeah.
My PayPal is
listeners, watchers, don't do that. And if you have, don't feel stupid, because those people are good at what they do. They are. They know
it happens.
They know
it happens to the best of us.
Well, I think they're working with energy, and they're using it for bad. They can scare someone into feeling that curse.
Oh yeah.
And it was interesting that ChatGPT did this to us. They gave us Zoroastrianism, and they say that the soul is created by Ahura Mazda and is tested by moral choice. Moral is very, I think moral choice is kind of subjective personally, but
absolutely.
And it came from their sacred Zoroastrian texts.
I'm curious, do you feel like this moral choice, do you feel like that is a form of control?
Yes, I perhaps do. I perhaps do. That's why I don't like religions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting that is like all of them that you read. There wasn't really a lot of except for the first Christianity, of course, no offense. But there wasn't a lot of morality, in it, except for those two. A lot of them were. That's interesting.
It was just really about it's just philosophy with the rest of them, but there's some laws in there and some of here. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm glad you thought that.
Interesting.
That's weird. Yeah. So they give us some spiritual and esoteric definitions, listeners and watchers. They talk about the Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism, and they think the soul has 5 levels. I will not try even to attempt to say them. And Gnosticism. I don't know anything about that, really. It says the soul is divine light trapped in matter. Trapped. That sounds kind of ominous too,
Well, trapped, if you think about it, we're the matter.
Yeah.
Like the body, the meat suit, and the soul is trapped inside. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it says, but the origin is early Christianity. Christians suffer. You're supposed to suffer if you're a Christian, from what I have learned in Christianity. You're supposed to.
Yep.
If you don't suffer, then you don't love God or something like that. I don't know. That's just how I understand it.
Or you don't go to heaven.
Be mad at him for suffering or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I liked what Jesus taught with the Jesus' teachings. I love, but the churches don't seem to teach that same message that I learned from it.
No.
You know?
Yeah. It's all about control.
It is to me too, a lot of it, because and I worked in churches, and I found that working the business end was it kind of changed my opinion a lot about some people. Religion can really help. They'll give them a community and give them peace, but they're also paying part of their paycheck to have that. You know, they shouldn't have to pay for spirituality. You know,
correct.
You get shamed if you don't pay and you're poor. You know. And the poor people are who the churches should be helping. I'm getting on a rant now. That's not about a soul. That's my soul being outraged. People taking advantage of people's souls. So then we have theosophy. And it says the soul is a higher aspect of the self, evolving through many lives. That's kind of where I am.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I can get behind that. It says the origin is 19th century esoteric movement. This is like Madame Blavatsky, and she brings in the ascended masters and everybody like that. And then we have shamanism. I'm surprised they didn't give us that one first. That says shamanism, they say in this, the soul can travel, fragment, or be lost. Shamans work to restore soul parts. And the origin of this belief system is indigenous practices worldwide. And that's the truth, everywhere. There's been a shaman in every culture, probably, you know, ever. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's probably one thing in my apartment building, right? But there's shaman.
Yeah.
And then they have New Age, modern metaphysics. And people in New Age, this is interesting because this is supposed to define us, maybe. I don't know. A soul is a multidimensional being with purpose and memory beyond this life. Concepts. I'm kind of interested in the concepts here on this one. It just says the concepts are, it doesn't say where it comes from. That's why I was like, where it come from?
Of course not.
It's the concepts. Contracts, twin flames, Akashic records, ascension. So this is kind of our arena, you know? Soul is a multidimensional being with purpose and memory beyond this life. I mean, that's a good sentence. I would agree with that, but I think there's a lot more you could say, you know? And we also looked up practical, philosophical, and scientific views. And the only one that we really thought, like both of us were interested in this section was the quantum consciousness theories. And this chat GPT says sometimes scientists and mystics propose the soul exists in quantum dimensions, perhaps surviving death, perhaps. So that's kind of interesting, you know, and out of all those, the one I think that we fit in, that's pretty much where I agree the most, I think, you know, with the belief systems. But what is a soul is what I really wanted to think about today. You know, what is it?
And it's interesting, like, just to think about all of those definitions, and we could all like understand and consciously understand where certain religions got their information from in order to, you know, create this story. We could all like logically understand that. But when it comes to your soul, I'm a firm believer on, I think I mentioned this in the last time we spoke, where I have like one foot in the spirit world, one foot in the real world. And I'm also like very science forward. Like I have a background in hypnotherapy and NLP, and like I'm all about quantum physics and stuff like that. And I view science for the questions that I need answers, I go to science, and for like the unknown, I go to metaphysics, right? Like that is the metaphysical. But when it comes to a soul, I view a soul as your essence, your being. It is energy. It is something that cannot be destroyed. It can morph. It can contort, it could change, and it is
what's it here for?
It is
What's it doing?
I personally view that or feel that every life, like this is not my only life. This is not your only life. I feel
agree
like
with you.
our soul and our consciousness as a whole, we are all one consciousness.
I agree.
I feel like we are all one consciousness and we have our own little, in the grand scheme of things, right? In the big picture. And our consciousness, it depends on like what we need to, learn. Sometimes we have lifetimes where we are learning. Sometimes we have lifetimes where we are teaching. Sometimes we have lifetimes where we are
dying horribly. Best friend stabbing us in the back stuff.
Exactly. But that's also a lesson.
Then they marry us in this life and we're like stabbing them in the back.
Right. But it's like, it's all a lesson. But I do,
yes.
And I do feel like we have a choice. I feel like if we were to, and this might go into that talks of, what is it, quantum mortality. We'll talk about that. But I feel like we have a choice, once we leave this plane, right? Once our soul is getting out of this meat suit, right? We are then given a choice. Like if I learned what I needed to learn, we're given the choice to like either stay in the spirit realm, like this version of my soul, to stay in the spirit realm and offer up what I need to offer up in the spirit realm, or I need to learn another lesson. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start over again. And with the like quantum mortality thing, it's basically stating that we never die. So if I were to die in this, lifetime, my spirit, my soul moves on to something else. So therefore you're never officially gone, right? Like you get to carry on. I find that like a lot of people are like creeped out about that. I find it so beautiful.
Me too.
I love it. I love knowing that this is not the end.
Yeah, me too.
That what I got going on now, like how beautiful is it to think that, okay, so yeah, I might have gone through some really horrific, traumatic, terrible things, but like I get to experience, I get to, morph and maybe do it differently next time. Like that's, I don't know, that's
I think that
comforting
way too.
to me.
I think that way too. I think I picked to come here. I think I chose to come here and learn lessons, and because I want to evolve my soul so that it'll be more unique. That's what I really believe. I do believe we're all connected as one soul, but we also want to be each unique souls in that collective or whatever. It's kind of
absolutely.
Where do you think a soul comes from? Where did the first soul come? Where are all this? Where did we come from? Where did souls come from? What are they? I mean, the essence of a soul. Where were they born, or are they always there and always will be and out of time? Or
I think I
have some theories about that. I have some theories about the soul, where the soul comes from, and the reason we're all connected. It's just like an idea that popped into my head the other day because I was thinking about twin flames and soulmates, and we did a podcast a long time ago. My old co-host Misty and I did on twin flames and soulmates, and in that podcast, I was like, I don't know about twin flames. Most people say they're terrible, and they're chasing. And anyway, I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about soulmates, and I started thinking about soul groups, and then I started thinking about how, in every religion, just about every tradition, got a man or woman, we are made in the likeness of our creators, right? So if you look at all the creation, the very first thing that happens to us is a cell divides, right? We are a cell that two things come together and make something. And then it splits into two exactly identical things, and it splits into four. And like everybody's seen that little model with the bubble. Well, what if the souls do that? What if a soul gets like so much so unique that it can't be any more unique, and then it splits, and then that's all like an amoeba, like an egg, an egg and a sperm. doing their thing in the little egg hole. In the egg hole.
Egg hole.
The egg, they're like doing this. They're doing making babies.
This is how it happens.
This is how babies are made.
This is how you make babies.
In the egg hole. But I feel that way. It feels like, maybe there was one original soul. And maybe it's like an amoeba. And it has two.
Interesting.
And then they want to be more unique and be different. So they do something in time. Maybe this has always been going on, and this is always souls. Maybe that's how they reproduce. I don't know. I just had this idea, and I kind of thought it was interesting.
Interesting.
Because it would make sense about twin flames not being able to deal with each other, right? If that's such a thing. Twin flame, listeners, watchers. A twin flame, from what I understand, is a soul that gets filled up with love and splits in half. That's what I understand, or has been told. I think that is best I can say. And why would the soul split in half is where I went. Like, why would that even happen? Right? Reproduction. That's what I thought.
Interesting.
Like, why would it split? Because there's a, so maybe we are all connected because of this original split from no time ago. It's constant. It's
right.
Just, out of time.
It's always.
Really brain that in our physical body so well,
Right, because time doesn't exist. And it is truly like, I think I'm on board with exactly what you're saying, but I have this thing with like, I view all of us as the creator. Like, I don't think that there was one creator.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right?
I didn't used to.
You know what I mean?
I used to think there wasn't one creator, and I thought we all just kind of evolved. Like, whatever happened. It was but I just started believing in creators.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know if there's a creator. It feels like there's three creators to me. But I would say there would be like maybe three souls to split if they were souls. If they were souls, they would be the original ones. But we're all the original ones because we all would have separated from them. It's the same way human biology works.
Exactly.
In the face of man,
Right.
That's why I thought that. Kind of an interesting thing if we knew what a soul was, though.
Right.
Yeah. Got to quantify
because
that.
I just I don't think you can. I don't think
I think we're going to be able to quantify it as identify it somehow.
Identify. Yes.
Yeah. Identify it.
Identify for sure. But I just think because I don't know, I just don't feel that there's one answer.
I don't either. Yeah.
I feel, you know what I mean? I feel like there's going to be...
That makes sense too. There's more to it. Yeah. Maybe there's more other kinds of souls. Maybe all souls aren't the same. Maybe there are.
That could be.
Maybe Gandalf is a cat soul. I don't know. Some of my friends believe, human souls, alien souls, cat souls, dog souls. I kind of think my cats are right on par with me, as far as my souls go. But and some people don't have souls, humans like walking around. One of my best friends thinks that there's people like walking around without souls, and that's kind of a scary way to think, I think anyway. Yeah. It's really hot in here. That's why I'm pulling my hair up. I have my air off.
You do you. I think I agree with that, we are all connected, but it does feel like different, like facets of what a soul, because I think of it as like energy. If there's a lot of density, it can appear to have no soul. Like if there's a lot of just like, we use the term, like dark energy or whatever, but that's, a construct that's man-made, dark, light, dark, whatever. But if we view it from a scientific standpoint, there's a lot of density, then of course we could say, okay, like their soul makes me feel a certain way. That's like the pinpoint there. It makes me feel a certain way.
And
like your soul makes me. Be. Exactly.
Right. And it's not your dress. I think, it's not the earrings. It's your soul that offends me. No,
it's your soul. But I think we all view each other like that unconsciously. Yeah. I think that we are all like feeling each other's, like you and I hit it off because both of our vibes, like we give off a specific vibe where it attracts, and it makes sense that we can just like chat about souls on the internet.
I think
right?
the key is that we don't get embarrassed very easily.
Well, yeah. But that's a part, like our souls, that makes sense. So if you go into a room and you can like tell which souls are not going to mesh well with you, even though on the outside they look like, okay, fine, whatever. We're not going to judge a book by its cover, but we know exactly. And I think that's just,
is it the soul, or is it the soul that's corrupted, or is it something else inside the soul? Is the whole soul corrupted in that case? Like that, I'm saying, I'm using corruption as an example. Say I walk into an Irishman walks into a bar and he says that soul's corrupted. Like, I don't like that soul. I don't like that person. I can tell he's acting all nice, but I can tell that soul is corrupted. Would it be the whole soul, or would it be just like parts of it being kind of dark spots? Because I have a friend who scries. Her name's Megan, and she can scry anything and see amazing things. She can't help it when she sees a picture. It's weird. She doesn't like it, because she can't control it. Last time I talked to her, anyway. And she would say that I forgot what I was getting at with that. She would scry. She would see people like their auras, but not really their auras, but more like their soul. And she could see like patches, black spots on their soul if they were really damaged or something. And some people were all okay, and some people were damaged, and that's how she would describe it.
I believe that. I believe it's not the entire soul is, corrupted. I do feel, because with that knowing or with that belief that we can change, that our souls can change, that our souls can heal and morph and kind of contort and adapt. So I cannot get behind an entire soul being entirely bad, even though there are awful people and
but that
terrible,
could be biology.
People.
That might not be their soul. That might be their biology. They might have the XXXYYY chromosome thing, You know what I'm talking about? Like, they found like a lot of violent people have that double Y chromosome thing. And those are a lot of the serial killers and not passion killers, but people who plan it out. They have the extra Y chromosome, the XXYY chromosome, I think is what, or XXY.
But then that begs the question, do you believe that the soul influences the body?
I do.
So ultimately, I do. And ultimately, then that makes me believe that it's the soul, that it wouldn't be, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be the body. It wouldn't be the cells. It would just
so
be
no matter what, that person, if that person is like wrong in some way and hurting people, their soul is damaged somehow too. So how about like this? So let's say there is this white oblong soul or circle, white, and it has, let's say like Megan sees patches. Maybe it, like in my belief system, if that's happening and that person really does have like rotten pieces in their soul, that maybe they're here alive in time to make those holes and then fix them over lifetimes or incarnations, because that's why we change into a different kind of soul. First, we have to have some dark spots, maybe,
Right.
And then they change, we heal them, or we patch it and change it into something else, later, or even in the same life.
Have you seen the show, The OA?
I've heard of it, but I have not seen it. I think my parents.
Oh, you need to. Okay. Well, they freaking canceled it, which makes me very upset. And your listeners and viewers, if they've seen it, they are probably shaking their fists in the air with me. But it's interesting. So it is all about like, multi-dimensional lives and jumping timelines and stuff like that. And it's interesting because there is a character who is really evil in like one timeline, and then he's not really evil in another timeline, and then like we are left on a freaking cliffhanger, and he is like the husband of one of like the main characters, like the protagonist. And it's like, that made me view like, okay, so maybe a soul can be really bad and learn and, evolve in this timeline, and then be at the same time be in another timeline and being like Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that you're constantly evolving, you're constantly learning, and it's all at the same time. Like, it's not like
I gotcha.
I go through one life, right?
Like right now you're also living a bunch of other ones. A lot of people
I'm
believe
living
that.
20 million other possibilities right now.
Yeah. I've heard
I
other
love
people think
geeking out
that.
about
It's
this.
a lot to put in their brain, but if you put it on paper or something, it's easier. Or have someone else say it for you. Like you just said it. That makes sense to me, though.
Yeah, but I just think I can like consciously accept that. Like, I know that I'm probably awful in another lifetime. I know that I am probably, again, Mother Teresa in another lifetime. But that, like, to me, and I am the best in this lifetime.
Oh, you're
but
the best.
that but that to me, just, I don't know, that fascinates me, because it's like it's fascinating to know that my soul has that power.
Yeah.
That I have that power to like be everything all at once.
And you know
Have you
what?
seen that movie?
No.
Have you seen that movie?
Everything all at once?
Everything, everything all at once.
Now you're giving me two things to watch. I just started watching TV again, so this is good.
Well, that everything all at once is a movie. It came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Okay, I'll remember that.
It's fantastic, and it's all about, again, like being just like quantum time jumping, leaping, and like learning lessons in each area. And again, it's like, it's not linear, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
my
something I kind of want to
are on.
Oh, no, something it made me think of is just how, like, I used to be a writer. I used to write a lot. And what you do is you torture your protagonist with your antagonist, right? Every book or antagonist. And I always found that, like, let's put that in real people world, protagonists, antagonists all around us. Like, I've never had this idea that I am doing things everywhere else when I'm awake. I just can't brain that. I can't brain that I'm doing a bunch of other things with my soul. My soul's doing all these other things. I want a closer connection to my soul than that. I think that's why. I want it just to be mine, and it's not off doing other things. It's with me all the time, all of it. But if it's not like that, I'll deal. So that's the Taurus in me. Mine, I have soul. I like what you're talking about, though. I love how what you're saying, though. I think that is just fascinating, and I love how you look at it, because I think it's probably more likely what you're talking about than what I want. For you're saying that we ultimate timelines and do all, like, we can examine and grow and everything is like out of time like this, but in time it seems a lifetime, or whatever a lifetime is.
Oh yeah.
Because I think we live alien lives too. I have memories of alien planets, of dreams or stuff, but not being an alien. I just have a dream of being a human on an alien planet and meeting them. Or I've met alien guides, extraterrestrial guides who will come in and during readings and stuff. I have one who's been around all the time for like 2 years. And she doesn't say much, but she's just around. And so that's another thing that I think souls are just part of the fabric of existence. There wouldn't be an existence of any kind without souls, because we're watching.
Absolutely.
We're growing.
Like, I've channeled 100%. I've channeled like Palladians and, and it's interesting because now, like, my guides are like, talk about this, is, do you feel like aliens or like light beings, do you view them as a soul, or do you view as only the ones on our Earth school, right? As a soul.
I think
That's a soul. Or is
everything that
it
is a biological being has a soul. I don't agree with my friend Marissa
cool?
that people don't have souls. I don't agree with that. I think
Mm-hmm.
my cat has a beautiful soul. I think my bedspread has a soul. I mean, I think everything has a soul, really. I
But
just think
even
that has
like light
personality,
beings.
maybe not a soul, but maybe personality. Light beings, yes, they are souls to me. They have evolved into their in uniqueness. Like
Mm-hmm.
an ascended master will have
Interesting.
ascended into their most unique form. And at some
Mm-hmm.
point, maybe they'll want to split in half and make another one. That's what I believe,
Yeah. Cool. Cool. But I'm thinking that, just to go back to what we were originally talking about is like there might be different souls and like we get
Oh,
to
yeah.
choose, right? Like we get to
We did talk, yeah.
choose what we want to do next. And so maybe we have the choice to like go back to earth. Like I
I
feel
think
that
we
there's
do.
other, right? And like
Yeah.
if we're not
Yeah.
done,
Or we just want to.
learning or evolving, we then like reincarnate, not re well, yeah, I guess reincarnate, or we come back to earth. But I feel like there's a bunch of other, obviously there's a bunch of
So you kind of
other
feel like maybe the
uh
other spirit, like Andromedans, might have a different
universe.
kind of soul. Oh, universes. Yeah. Well, I had a reader tell me I was from another universe, and I don't know about that. I don't know that. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like my
Yeah,
friend Marissa was
probably.
saying, we're going to the starseed kind of thing for a minute. I told my friend Marissa that, a lot of people, she told me, I'm like, oh, you're a starseed, just own it. And I'm like, well, I just can't be told I'm a starseed and just be, I'm a starseed. I don't feel it.
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
That's not my knowledge. I don't have that knowledge. It's been told to me. So how can I say I'm
Mm-hmm.
a starseed? Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
something but that's why I think we all have the same kinds of souls. They're all made of the same materials.
Yep.
Energies, vibrations, whatever
Mm-hmm.
whatever it's made out of in no time. And then it comes in
Mm-hmm.
here into time in this body, right? It's in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it
Mm-hmm.
is the whole body. I don't know. A lot of us have problems with our bodies too. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people who have problems with their bodies have problems with their souls. They don't like themselves. They don't think they
Mm-hmm.
deserve much. A lot of people who have
Mm-hmm.
problems with their physical appearance don't feel good about their inner selves. And your inner self is your soul somewhere down in there. I think not your personality necessarily, not necessarily the body, of course, but or your feelings or your thoughts. It's all those things combined, maybe. But there's something in the soul or of the soul about the soul that, like you said, is eternal, but it's also like it's pure, it's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. And I think also that goes back to your soul is always changing
Yeah.
and it is always evolving, whether it's like, it's never stagnant, I feel.
I like
Even
that.
when we are depressed or angry or sad or, our body gives out, I think that we have that power. We have the power and the ability, to morph and change and heal, right? And
Yes.
I think, yeah, I don't know where I was going with
I
that,
got you
but
though. We do. We have all these abilities, but these are spiritual, what our culture would call spiritual abilities, right? But the spirit
yeah,
is associated with
yeah.
the soul. Where's the difference between
Mhm.
spirit and soul? Is there a difference really?
I think it's the same.
I
I
think it's
think
the
it's the
same
same thing,
too.
just a different word,
I think it is just a different word
honestly.
too. I like that.
Yeah. When I speak, like, because I am also a medium, and
Yeah.
when I say spirit, like when I speak with spirit,
I say spirits too. I'm not saying I'm talking to their
you
souls.
know,
I'm talking to your mom's soul. I wouldn't say that. I'd say I'm talking to your mom's soul.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah,
it's her
like
personality coming through, but her soul is too. But her personality, as
mhm,
the daughter knew her, would be coming through. Not
mhm,
the soul
mhm,
in all its glory and knowledge necessarily. Sometimes,
right, mhm,
but not for me.
yeah, but right. I also, I mean, I view a soul as your essence, and that includes your personality,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
your personality is your essence, right? And who you are. Now, there can be other layers to that. Like you could have your ego, which I know in our world, a lot of people are like so upset about your ego, which
Our ego
I
keeps us
love.
alive.
Hello? Exactly. It keeps us alive. It keeps us safe.
Yeah.
There's all of this
There's
talks
just a
in the
balance with
spiritual.
everything. You have to have a balance with
Exactly.
everything, right?
But
Yeah. I mean, that seems
there's
like
this,
ideal to have a balance.
right. But there's this talk in the spiritual world to have like a ego death. And
Yes.
to like,
I agree with you on this one. I don't agree with the ego death. I don't think that, I mean, maybe somebody who's like, I'm better than anyone, and they believe it. Maybe they need to talk to some people and get a little humbled,
Right. But that's
there's a reason they feel that way. There's a reason they feel that way. They're trying to overcompensate for something. I don't know.
Right. But I think like some of these terms, even like starseed, I think some of these terms are used, I hate to say it, but kind of in the vibe of like religion and controlling. I view
definitely
some of these,
some of them do it that way.
Right. Like if they're used incorrectly, if they're used, right. But like if they're used outside of what their intentions are, I view a lot of it is it is organized religion with like a patchouli smelling bow wrapped around it, right? You know what I mean?
I prefer lavender.
So
okay. It's too hippie if you do patchouli. I like hippie though. I mean, I'm not saying anything about hippies. I love hippies. I dated two hippies. The last two guys I dated were hippies, actually.
I love hippies. I'm all about it. But I when you were talking about like the star seed and how Marissa like said, well, you just are. And I view that, and I even view like using the term like ego death. Like that is a form of control. Like you have to be a certain way in order to be considered spiritual or enlightened.
I don't like
that at all.
No, I think that's just people trying to figure out what to do with the spirituality, though, because people want to dominate and know everything most of the time.
100%.
We don't like feeling dumb, but we're all dumb. I'm fully owning my dumb. I don't like it, but I am dumb. I make mistakes and I forget stuff and I run into walls by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Who does that? People with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome do. Actually, we have an issue with facial recognition, and I do walk into walls and I trip over myself. Mm-hmm. And I
but you're a human.
That's true. Even humans do it. I just do it a lot more with other people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Watching this, you'll know you have tripped over everything that you shouldn't have. Probably nothing. I trip over nothing a lot too, because my joints fall out.
Yeah. Oh. But what an adventure. What an adventure.
My soul is going, from 40 to 50, my soul has been experiencing existential crisis of body pain and stuff like that.
Interesting.
I mean, I've always had health issues, but that's what my soul is, I think, here to learn to step outside of the pain and the suffering or heal it. One or the other. And I will do one or the other.
Maybe also tapping into your power.
Yeah.
Of tapping into like your consciousness to be able to heal.
I learned Reiki because of this. I'm a Reiki master now, teacher, and I did it to make myself feel better. And I don't really offer it to too many people. I don't do it professionally or anything. I just do it to myself and my animals and anyone who wants it to. Which isn't
that could be one of your things or your lessons in
I think this could be.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's also, in my family, I mean, it's some genetic disorder, but nobody in my family has it. Nobody in my family likes to be sick. But I don't know. But they can happen spontaneously too. And I was 11 months late. I don't know, but it's a genetic mutation. But hypermobile, the type I have, it is genetic, but they haven't pinned down the exact genetics for it yet. Yet there are 13 types, and the other 11 or 12 they do have the genetic markers.
Interesting.
They don't have this one.
Have you ever listened to Joe Dispenza, like any of his work?
Who is that? What is
Dr. Joe Dispenza. Oh, write that down. That's another.
I have it in my recording.
Yes, he's another. He has a lot of books, but he does like a lot of meditation, and it's huge on like healing your body.
Okay.
You know, outside of like, you know, medical whatnot, like Western medicine, outside of Western medicine, a lot of just like your neuro pathways. So like a lot of the stuff, you know, I'm trained in like learning to heal from your subconscious mind. Look him up. He does a lot of an amazing work and has helped.
I will.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, like with their, like, it sounds very, I don't know how to describe it, but like, I've seen people who could not walk, who were in so much pain, take a couple, like be in a room with him or do a couple of like his meditations, and they're freaking walking. Yeah. And that sounds like so absurd, but it's like, no, if you tap into the power of your soul, of your spirit, of your subconscious mind, you literally can do, you can. Look into it. I would be intrigued.
I believe I can, but I haven't done it yet. Well, I did have a lot of people talk to me about bringing it into the DNA level, the energy, the healing, stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to change my DNA. And so it's something odd to heal it, the DNA. I just wanted the pain to stop and the bone spurs to stop growing. I just, I don't want to change. What if, you know, what makes me hypermobile, what makes me have that disorder is also something that makes me psychic more. Or makes me understand it better or perceive it better, easier.
Interesting.
Or what if it's something that makes me feel love more strongly? What if it's something that makes me smarter? I don't know. You know, I wouldn't want to lose any of my characteristics because this gene might do a lot more, you know?
For sure. Do you believe, what if you were to believe the exact opposite? So what if you were to heal this and your psychic abilities were able to skyrocket? What if you were to heal this and
I'm not willing to take the risk of it. I'm not willing to take the risk of healing it at the DNA level to change my personality in either way.
Oh, it wouldn't change your personality.
Well, I'm not
what if you had it in your mind?
Healing the actual root issue. If it actually healed my DNA issue, I don't know what would happen. Would I suddenly like have all these wrinkles appear out and I fall down? I don't know what would happen because it's connective tissue. I mean, because everything's.
But I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think my point is.
It would probably take a while.
Well, not even that. It depends on because you are the operant power, right? Like you are the powerful of your being.
I don't think that my belief system can alter reality. I don't believe that.
Okay.
That's somewhere I am at. I don't believe my belief system can alter reality. There's too many other people's belief systems. And that
interesting.
There's just too many. Okay. And I'm not strong.
Then you might not like
I'm not strong enough to change reality. Me? No. I don't feel that strong. I don't really want to change reality. I want to change my perspective of reality. Because that's what hurts.
What it would be.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. You change your perspective and then the reality reflects that back to you. So
I've done that and all I have left right now, I have one friend. Two, you're my other friend. And I have like 3 friends. Seriously, I've done that. I didn't, but it's a process. It is a process.
And it's also, I mean, it is your mindset around it. So if your mindset is no, then it's
my mindset right now about like going into my DNA. I did do it. I did pull it into my DNA level and it did relieve it a little bit, but I didn't like the way it felt. Let's put it that way. And I told the person, one of the people who recommended it to me, I said it did offer relief, but I didn't tell her that discomfort feeling. I didn't like it.
Then you don't like it. Then it's not for you.
That's, I guess, the part I should add.
What I mean?
It felt like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It didn't feel right. I just can't put my finger on what didn't feel right about it. It felt like not that I shouldn't or that I wouldn't or couldn't, but it would change something that I wouldn't want to change. I felt that very strongly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm supposed to have this disorder for some reason is kind of what I believe. And I don't know what that reason is yet. And maybe it is to heal it with what you say. I will believe that someday and it will heal it. Or maybe it'll be something else. I don't know, but I believe I will succeed in not being 70 or 60 in a wheelchair, which is most likely what I'll be right now. I'm 50. Right. By 60, I should be knocked down. But I believe in the metaphysical healing. I believe in doctors. I believe in all the things, every angle. So I'm determined to not be in that wheelchair at 60 if I can,
Yeah.
But that's my soul's willpower. And soul does have willpower.
Yeah.
It's not the human soul, it's not the human body having willpower. It's not my mind having willpower. It's not my emotions having constraint. It's my soul having the willpower to endure, and to keep going, trying to grow and become more unique, maybe,
I have a feeling that this is going to be an introduction to your power.
Oh, I've been dealing with this all my life, though.
Well, I know. I'm saying this phase of your life right now, this might be an introduction to your power. And it's a process and it's going to take some time. But
I don't want power. I just want peace. All I want is a peaceful life.
Well, when I say power, when I say power, I'm not saying
you mean like innate, natural, like power in myself, confidence in myself, and stuff like that.
I'm a powerful woman. I'm not tearing anybody down. That's not the sense of power that I'm talking about. The power, your own internal power.
I'm scared of that power. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I do not like it. That's part of that feeling that went along with putting the sound current into my DNA. It was part of that feeling that I don't like. Something about it I don't like. And I don't know what it is. Can't explain.
Interesting.
I just maybe don't like it because I don't know why. I just don't understand it maybe. And maybe I need to take time to understand all these things better. It's kind of
I think that's it. Is you not understanding what, because it feels uncomfortable. Like me saying the words powerful.
It's like doing the powerful things feels bad.
Yeah.
But not because I'm not supposed to. But not because I'm not supposed to, because I don't like doing them. It doesn't feel right.
What does power mean to you?
Like changing someone else's destiny.
Why would you change somebody else's destiny?
They asked me to.
So you view that you would have the power to change somebody else's destiny?
I don't think I do, but what if I could? Would I do it? No, but that's the feeling I have.
Okay. Gotcha. So it's just trying to figure out that balance because there is like that duality of.
There's a duality.
I can go this far.
It's a walking duality. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Swimming duality, more like.
Dancing, floating duality.
And with that, my friend Courtney, this has been a great podcast. I've just loved it. Tell the listeners where they can find you again and the watchers.
Oh goodness. My website.
I got all your info. I got all her info. You have to read. You have to do the reading thing. And she's on Everclear.
Yes.
And you're Courtney Marie Wilde.
Yep, Courtney Marie Wilde on Everclear. And then, my website, it's kartra.com/wild method, I believe.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's you. She's got a wild method, and I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website. Everclear, where you can get your advice from psychics and empaths and get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And you deserve it. You deserve it. And lastly, Courtney, do you have any advice for the listeners and watchers about how they can think about their soul or what they might be able to do with their soul or anything?
I think the biggest thing when it comes to your soul is to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Give yourself grace. And we kind of spoke about it a little bit, like, we don't have all of the answers. There's not one answer. And be okay.
This whole podcast is conjecture.
Yeah. Like, be okay with like starting here and then going all over the place. Be okay with, nobody has one answer. And I find that personally beautiful. So just be okay with the unknown.
I love the diversity of people. That's the best part. And some people don't agree with that, but Yeah, don't want to end on that note. Some souls do, though. A lot of souls agree we all get along.
I think we do.
I think we do.
I think we do.
If I were locked in a room with someone who had a bad attitude and a bad soul, I think I would probably then I might activate my power. That's probably the only situation I would activate my soul power if that person was not being nice. But I would probably try my Venus and Gemini first, because that works on everyone. And listeners,
I love it.
We love you, watchers. We love you. You said you loved them last time, so you must still love them, right?
Love them dearly.
Everybody, we love you. Have a great time wherever you may be. Night, morning. Hot as hell, 3 o'clock. Woo! I'm going to go down to the pool again.
Yeah, it's hot here too.
Hot. And listeners, thank you so much again. Peace out. Bye.